All right. So anyway, that's the drill around that. So let me go to the next one real quick. Now, some things I'll go straight to the point. In simple term, consent is just saying before you touch any of the subject, we need to get their consent. As simple as that. In the world of clinical research, it's a big deal. It's one of the most significant audit findings if FDA comes to your organization and audit you. And there is an informed consent not signed. That is the safety issue. So before you touch any subject, we call patients subject in research, okay? Let me quickly do some interactive fun stuff for those of us that were not part of my program. We like to chat a lot. So let me change your language a little bit. We're going to change our language. Even, at the minimum, you leave here a little bit smarter than you came. So for us, when you meet a doctor, we say, I'm going to meet my doctor. In the world of research, we use the term PI. Can we all type PI? PI, everybody, if you don't mind, please. PI. PI stands for Principal Investigator. Let's go. Let's go, people. Thank you. Don't worry. I like to make sure, we all live here with a little bit of education. That's cool for me. So, in other words, instead of you saying doctor, and I know this because when I got into that field then, I remember I was used to using the term doctor, right? But they call them PI. So if you go say, well, can I speak to the doctor? I will know you're not really, you don't know research. I mean, you've not stayed long in research because we in research, we know we use the word PI. That's what they are, really. Principal investigators. Another thing, I'm going to change the language. Instead of saying patients, can we all use the word subject? Can we all type subject? Say patient equals subject. Say patient equals subject. Let's do that real quick if you don't mind. Here we go. Patient equals subject. So many times when you see the word patient, it's the same thing as a subject. Okay. All right. That's a good one for us. Now, let me change a little bit more. Sometimes you may hear the word, many times you might hear the word, we use medication, drugs, whatever it is. We use the word IP. Can we type IP together, everybody? IP. IP means investigational product. Can we go ahead and type IP real quick? Thank you, Didi. Come on, everybody else. Come on, let's make it fun. Yeah, don't worry about over here in the next 20 minutes. It's going to be straight to the point. All right, just put IP, everybody. Okay, good. All right, cool. Thank you. Okay. All right, so the next thing is consent. We talked about it. It's just to show that you have the right consent. If you don't, the FDA is going to make this a big deal, okay? Training compliance, we are all required to do training. Training of the protocol, training of the consenting process, GCP training, whatever the training is required in a study, we are all required to take those training. This is a big topic mostly. I was an associate director, so many times when we go look for some of the proposal, we're doing our bid defense orals. I spend a lot of time to talk about this because I was the head of operational clinical research, right? So for me, it's important I give the client or the customer how we intend to do recruitment and retention. Now, believe it or not, you might have $1 billion. If you don't have the right subject to participate in the study, it's as good as burning the money. And that's what you're doing, really. It's a disaster. It's one of the biggest headache you can have as someone in trial. You can have the funding for the trial, but sometimes if you don't have the resources in terms of having the right subject to participate in the study, then you cannot do a trial. So just wanted to make sure I call that out. It's a big deal. IP compliance is just saying the drug compliance. And we're going to go into all of that in the training. And let me tell you one funny thing, real story. My early days when I got into research, my wife is into this space too. She does clinical research. And she's done it for about 10 years. So, I was asked to go to IP reconciliation when I was on site. And I went to call my wife and say, hey, because it sounded so simple to be true, what I'm thinking. And she said, just count the damn drugs. And that's what it is. So it's like, you have a tablet, 30, one pill a day. If you bring back 5, automatically I will know you did not use 5. It's as simple as that. It's not really complex. So for me, I was just thinking, could it be that simple? Really? But honestly, that was it. And my manager then, she was so proud of me. Oh, great job. Okay, good. I said, okay, excellent. But that's what it is really. And of course, in your protocol, which is your guide for the study, they will tell you what exactly they want us to do. We have GCP principles. Everybody on this call, I'm going to send a link for GCP for us to do this GCP certification. If you are going to be in clinical research, every one of us must do GCP training. It's required. It's part of the documentation that we need to show evidence we've done, and it's current. Very important too. We'll get into essential documents. These are documents that the FDA would typically expect us to have also. Now, don't care about all this, but at the minimum, I want you to be just educated a little bit for this quick 30-minute session, okay? And let me give you an example of, at least take this away from here, 2 things. One of the essential documents, medical license, right? That is fair. I mean, if you're a doctor, being part of a trial, it's only fair to say, are you a medical licensed professional? As simple as that. Now, there's one document I always like to talk about. We're going to change a little bit your language. So if you don't mind, can we all type 1572? I hate to use the word cram, but I don't mind you guys just cramming this. 1572, can we just type 1572, everybody? 1572 is like one of the most important documents. Now, believe it or not, I've started thinking about interview. If you're on this call, I'm thinking, all right, if I'm interviewing you, what am I going to ask? I could ask you and say, what exactly do you look for in 1572? Don't overthink it. 1572 is just a form that the PI submits to say, I am part of the trial. That's what it is, right? And in the form, like any form, if I ask anybody today, what are you looking for in the form? I would say 2 things for sure. Number 1, was the form signed and dated? Those are the 2 big ones, right? So if the FDA audits your site and they take a look at the 1572 form, they will check if the form was signed and dated. As simple as that. Nothing, no rocket science in the process at all, okay? All right, let's go to, then we'll get into what we call source documentation. Source documentation is just saying, think about it this way. If you go to clinic for an appointment, everything that is touched is a source document. For example, the nurse note, the pharmacy note, your doctor's note, your lab result, your x-ray result, your laboratory, any kind of blood that was drawn from you, any kind of documentation pertaining to you, your health wellness is a source document. So every one of those must be checked, especially if you are participating in a trial. We do what we call inclusion and exclusion criteria, which is just a criteria to check if you could be, you're allowed to participate in the study. For example, an exclusion criteria might be, you should not have any autoimmune disease, HIV, for example. Or they could say you should not have any history of congenital heart failure, meaning you should not have a history of heart failure. They might say you should not use blood thinners because of X, Y, Z. So those are what we call inclusion and exclusion criteria. Such document will reveal if you should be part of this study or not, okay? And all of this we'll talk about, so don't sweat it. All right, then this is what some key things we typically will look for in the source document. Is it accurate, legible, contemporaneous, original, attributable, complete? All of this we'll talk about in the program itself, okay? EMR is just electronic medical record, right? This is an era whereby a lot of people today, unlike in the past, that they rely a lot on just the paper. Those papers are scanned into an electronic medical record. That's why you and I, if we go to your doctor's visit today, one of the things they typically do recently is they would give you access to a portal. When your blood work comes in, they will send you a mail. You look at the portal, you look at the result, you share it with anyone you want to. So it's really much more easier now, pretty cool. Clinical visit time, this is cool. This is the meat of our work. So for us as CRAs, we go to site visit. But the nice thing in this post-COVID era is there are now more jobs that allows people to work from home. In the past, when I was fully in, as a CRA, the work I do strictly was traveling. I never had time, but now my wife's role, she travels at times, but our travel is once a month now. Think about it. So 3 weeks of a month, she's strictly at home. 1 week she might go twice and go for 2 days and come back. That's it, which is pretty cool. I mean, compared to before. So this is really, really cool. I mean, it's just it's a different ball game, and I think it's just amazing. It's really now it's a different ball game. So which I like. Some types of visit we have site qualification, site selection, site initiation, interim, and closeout. And each one of those, we'll talk about it. I will make you write reports as much as possible for the different visits, and just have fun. It's just going to be fun, really. And we'll simulate different scenarios for you. And the way they measure you as a CRA is your report. Because think about it, technically you have no boss. It's one of the most bossless jobs you would have. You might have a line manager and a project manager, but in terms of your business and your activity, there's nobody looking at your work. There's nobody on your neck in sight. What speaks about you is your final report. So really, if you get your final report right, maybe a couple of first 2, 3 visits, it gets better and it becomes almost autopilot. That's the cool thing about this field. You know, um, we talked about this already. Communication guideline will teach you key things. It's a field that your people skill is important when you're on site, because you want people to like you. You don't want to be a jerk in terms of when you visit people and meet them. You want to be someone they like. And I've seen CRAs that are not nice people. And if you are dealing with people, especially healthcare people, and if you're on the call, you're healthcare, you're nurse or anything, I think you guys, anyone in healthcare, you are the nicest people in terms of different industry vertical, in my opinion. And for me, a core IT person, so going to the healthcare was just surreal. They were so nice, they were human, which I love. You may not see yourself as human, but compared to other fields, you guys, healthcare is super awesome. I love them. So it's all right. Let's get to frequently asked questions that I've seen a lot. Do we need health science background to get into this field? Most jobs will say yes, but in reality, I've seen people without science background also get into it. So the answer is it's preferred. Now, it could be any science, engineering, biologist, whatever it is, chemist, whatever it is, geologist. My wife is a geologist by background. Even if you've taken a community college class in science, just add it too. And if you are very driven, focused, it's still doable, but we can talk about that one-on-one. But it's not a big deal, I think. If you're hungry and if you want to go through it, you can do it. Do I need citizenship? No, not required for most of the job, but if you're trying to work for the government, then naturally to be required. Do we help with resume? Yes, we help you to get draft of your resume. We focus on hands-on. That's really the meat for us, really. Do you need to be committed a lot to be successful? Yes, I would agree. Like anything, and we are transparent, we are straight to the point. Look, even Harvard will not guarantee anything. We don't come here to say, oh, well, you do something, you get a job tomorrow. That's rubbish. But one thing I know for sure is anytime we put our best in good faith, we do the work, put the discipline, I know good things always come out of it. So that's pretty awesome. For the classes, any computer works, Mac, Windows is fine. Some job sites we can use. Typically, we recommend our team to use LinkedIn Premium because it's just much more effective. So we can do that. And what are the roles we'll be searching for? Clinical research associate, senior clinic. And let me just show you guys what the old drill is all about. So let's say, again, most of this changes all the time. So that's, you go to indeed.com, we just say CRA, we just put it out, clinical research associate. Okay. Then we just search, see. And these are the jobs out there. I mean, quite a lot of jobs now, unlike before. Now, the good thing is everything here, most of the things here are things we'll cover. The salary expectation is decent. I mean, honestly, it's not a big deal for you to be paid 9,500 again, because of now it's like mainstream. Now, of course, for most of my folks, when we get in, I try to say, let's start with 90 something so that, because you're still new, I don't want to, after you have experience, of course, you'll be making 100K. But sometimes you might ask for 100K is reasonable, but let's say typically from 90 to 105, that's what I recommend for starters, right? So that at least we can use that I don't want to push you too far into someone making you like a lead role, which I don't want for a start, okay? All right, let's quickly go back here. Some other questions. Do you need experience to build a career? We work on the resume to reflect some of the experiences to make you successful for sure. Does this require meetings? Mostly the people you meet, if you go to a site, are honestly maybe one or two people. Sometimes you don't even meet, you meet the PI just to talk 5 minutes. Hey, this is the study. Give your study coordinators credit and don't worry about all those names. You'll get used to them once we get into the program. Is certification required? No, it's not required. I don't have certification in the field. My wife does not either. And we've been doing it for many years, but we know what we're doing. We know the work itself. That's all that matters. Class schedule, it's going to be on Saturdays and on Sunday. Saturday and Sunday. For this program, it's going to be from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. So that's the program, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. for just 3 weekends. 3 weekends alone. And let me tell you the exact time so that we can have that. I think I sent it to the group already, the exact time. Let me see if I can quickly get that information and make it something we can all have handy. Let me quickly add that information and put it in the screen real quick. All right. All right, let me share my screen again real quick so we can all have access to it. Okay, so let me share my screen real quick. So the class starts Saturday, 3rd, 10th, and 17th, Sunday, 4th, 11th, and 18th, 8 to 10 a.m. each of the time, Central Time, or 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Any of those times we start. But, it's a treat for you in the next few days to the end of the year. Come January, you go all in to start applying. That's our goal. It's by design. We want to make sure we can get our folks in here, and by January second week, go all in to start applying for this role. It's just transformational, great opportunity for you. Payment, the cost is $1,200. If you want to, is there a payment plan? Yes, the answer is yes. And I will just refer to the site. So let me show you, let me quickly go to the site so we can see it real quick. For most of you that asked me the question, the good thing is that my team already put that information out there, so it's easy for you guys to see. Let me quickly get there. All right, so for this is the program here. So you can just go ahead and let me see. Let me log out so that you guys can see it. Okay, so somebody asked me earlier on, oh, I didn't know that there were options of, oh yeah, there are 3 options. You can make, and everything we do is automated. So I have no business with, it's strictly, automated. It's like we use Stripe, Square. So it's automated, it's done automatically. We have no business with it. Either you pay 1 time or you pay 3 times or you pay twice, whichever works for your model. So everything is there. Let me see what else we have here. Okay, let me open it up for questions. It's a smaller group of great people. So let me just see. All right, Didi, over to you. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, Mr. King, good evening, everyone. So I remember when I stumbled on a school mistakenly just by researching. The school was charging like 9K or something, and they said they were going to train blah blah blah, and everything. That was the school I was going to go. And then my friend said, no, 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 don't waste your time. Like we have our people that are doing this. I said, oh, I don't know. So she directed me to you through somebody. So what the school said though is that in clinical research, I'm just asking because I don't know. They say you grow very quickly. That can go from one role to the other in 6 months, in 1 year. So how true is that?
Okay, so let me tell you what I think. It depends on the organization. But it's one of those fields. Okay, so let me tell you my own part. I came in as a senior CRA, and in 2 years, I became a manager. Not because, but prior to that, I was experienced manager in the world of consulting. So I knew, and I was pretty good. I had good people skill. So let me give you a real life story, right? In one of the instances, one of my team members, she was local in Texas too. And she needed to travel to do what we call SIV. And she was struggling with the presentation. So I told her in good faith, hey, sure, come to my house. So I told my wife, hey, a friend of mine is coming, I need to help her with. She said, okay, good, let her come. She's a CRE too, she understands. The lady came in. I used almost 3-4 hours to help her to be successful. Zero angle, innocent help, nothing else. Now, unknown to me, she went to tell all my leadership about that incident, right? And I didn't even know. Anyway, so that caught the attention of my leadership that, wait a minute, who is this guy that is going out of his way to help his team to be successful, right? So I'll tell you one funny thing. We had a end of the year meeting for the whole organization, and I was named employee of the year. Hi, everybody. I apologize for that. Sorry, everybody. This is one of the most strange things I've seen in a long time. Sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. My line just tripped off. I was wondering what's going on here. Oh man, okay. Um, I think I forgot what I was talking about, but let's see. Okay, I think I said if you want to please go ahead and register, go ahead. I'll be honored to be your instructor, and my wife too. She's experienced for 10 years, very seasoned. She works for a company called PPD. Before then, she was with Parexel, another big player out there. So we would be honored to be your instructor, and we'll mentor you, guide you, all the tricks, everything we know to make you successful. I was in leadership there, so I know what it takes in terms of running a trial at the end of the day. But more importantly, execution. What are the things you're looking for when you're on site? How do you conduct yourself with PIs? What are those tricks? The questions I ask people when I hire them in my team then. And I have all the list of the questions I think are key. Now, the cool thing is with post-COVID, um, other tricks in working remotely also. All right, let's take Mary. Go ahead, Mary.
Yes, you mentioned an exam when you started that everybody will be asked to take that. Um, what
Yeah.
is that all about? That's my number one question.
Okay.
But then my number two question is I'm here on behalf of someone,
Yeah.
and his fear is getting a job based on that he has never done it before. And again, there is no really a company that I can reference when it comes to this. And in case they asked him for reference, like like somebody should send a reference in. I know there's a work around it, but again, I would like you to see somebody that I've never done, though he has a science background, but he has never worked in a science-based environment before for years, for more than for more than like 20 years thereabouts. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. And those are fair questions. And I think the simple answer to that is it's applicable across the board, irrespective of the field. Now, it doesn't mean what I'm going to say is the right or wrong answer, to be honest, but I will just tell you what